By the end of this video, you will learn how to turn your inconsistent backhand dink into a reliable, strategic weapon that keeps your opponents guessing and helps you take control of the net. Whether you're struggling with pop-ups, slicing errors, or poor positioning, this breakdown will walk you through the 5 most common mistakes and exactly how to fix them. Let's be real. The backhand dink is one of the hardest shots to master in pickleball. It doesn't come naturally to most people, especially if you didn't grow up swinging a tennis racket. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be a liability. In fact, if you fix just a handful of common mistakes, your backhand dink can become one of your most reliable tools for both defense and subtle offense. The first issue we're going to tackle is the dreaded pop-up, and it usually comes from trying to cut the ball too much. If you find yourself swinging high to low to high like you're carving a turkey, you're doing too much. A big slice might feel satisfying, but it actually makes the ball sail too far and too high, setting your opponent up for an easy put away. Instead of slicing hard, simplify. Focus on opening the paddle face and moving it straight forward from behind the ball to your target. You'll still get a bit of spin, but more importantly, you'll keep the ball low and within control. Another silent killer of your backhand dink is a bent elbow paired with a chopping motion. When that elbow flares out, the swing often becomes too wild and unpredictable. You lose consistency and end up hitting the ball too deep or right into the net. The fix? Keep your elbow straight from the start of the stroke through to the finish. Imagine drawing a straight line from your shoulder through your paddle. Your elbow shouldn't interrupt that line. When your swing is driven by the shoulder and not by an elbow flick, you get smoother motion and more stable control. This is true whether you're going for a simple flat dink, a slice, or even a topspin variation. Whatever your backhand flavor of the day is, the elbow stays straight and the movement comes from your shoulder. Let's talk about the wrist, because this is another big one. A lot of players have a tendency to hold their paddle in what looks like a solid position, but it's not quite there. The wrist might be relaxed or neutral, but for consistent backhand dinks, you want to set that wrist into a slightly bent back position. From there, you keep it stable all the way through the shot. This positioning makes it easier to get under the ball with an open paddle face, especially when the ball is low. If your paddle tip drops below your wrist, you're inviting errors. What you want is calm, smooth, and controlled movement, all led by your shoulder while your wrist stays locked in place. So lift that wrist slightly back, get the paddle tip above your hand, and maintain that form through your whole swing. You've probably heard this one before, but it can't be emphasized enough. Footwork makes or breaks your dink. You can have perfect technique with your paddle, but if you're reaching with your arm instead of moving your feet, it all falls apart. That's when players end up slicing, chopping, or flicking at the ball simply because they didn't get into the right position in time. Your goal should be to find your ideal contact point, usually just inside your outside foot, and move your feet so that every dink lands right in that sweet zone. Think of yourself as a crab on the kitchen line, sidestepping left and right, low to the ground, always ready to meet the ball with a solid, balanced posture. If you feel yourself leaning or lunging, you're probably not where you need to be. A great drill for this is to actually catch the ball at your ideal contact point before hitting. Just practice moving laterally, catching the ball in the right spot with your hand, and then tossing it back. Once that becomes second nature, add your paddle back in and replicate the exact same contact spot. This will build the muscle memory you need to stop reaching and start moving smart. One last mechanical fix that's often overlooked is how you get low for those trickier, lower dinks. Many players make the mistake of bending from their waist instead of their knees. The problem with this is it compromises your balance and flattens your paddle angle, making it hard to lift the ball cleanly. Your back should stay upright, while your legs do the work of getting your paddle underneath the ball. When you bend from your knees, instead of hunching over, you stay more balanced and keep your paddle in the right position to swing through the ball. Your paddle face stays open, you stay grounded, and you can hit that consistent backhand dink even when the ball skims just over the net. So remember, get down with your legs, not your back. The more grounded you are, the easier it becomes to execute your swing properly and lift those tough low shots over the net. You've nailed the one-handed backhand dink and feel confident, you might start exploring offensive options. One really powerful addition to your toolbox is the two-handed backhand dink. But beware, there's a common mistake that can throw it off completely. Many players come over the top of the ball too much, trying to force topspin like they would in a full swing drive. This actually kills the spin and sends the ball into the net. The key to an effective two-handed dink is to get under the ball and swing up the back of it, not across. The paddle face should stay open, always facing toward your target. Swing up, finish around your shoulder, and resist the temptation to roll over. It's all about clean upward lift, not rotating over the top. To recap, if you want to elevate your backhand dink game, start by eliminating 5 key errors: cutting too hard, bending your elbow, flicking your wrist, staying planted instead of moving your feet, and standing too upright instead of bending your knees. Fixing these will instantly make your dinks more consistent and difficult to attack. And once you've locked in the fundamentals, you can even layer on more advanced tools, like the two-handed backhand dink, to keep your opponents off balance. Backhand dinks don't have to be your weak spot. With a few adjustments and a bit of focused practice, they can become your sneaky strength on the court. So next time you're out playing, think about your elbow, your wrist, your knees, your feet, and most of all, keep that paddle face calm and confident. You've got this.